Welcome students in the class of biology. Myself, Mrs.Megha Anil Patil, assistant teacher at Srimati P.A. Soda Sarvajanik Marathi High School and Junior College, Nawapur, District Nandurbar. Today we are going to study human respiratory system. Energy is essential to operate all the life processes in human body. Energy production occurs within the cell. Respiration is a biochemical process of oxidation of organic compounds in an orderly manner for the liberation of chemical energy in the form of ATP. C6H12O6, that is glucose molecule, plus 6 molecules of oxygen, that gives 6 CO2, 6 H2O plus 38 ATP molecules, carbon dioxide plus water vapors and 38 ATP molecule means 673 calories of energy is liberated during the respiration. Gaseous exchange in plants. A terrestrial plant has stomata on leaves and young stems and lenticels on the stem surface for exchange of gases. Let us see respiration in animals. Protists, sponges and coleotrads are aquatic in habit and plasma membrane is the respiratory organ. Flatworms like planaria, annelids, for example earthworm, nares, leech and amphibians are aquatic or semi-aquatic in habit and plasma membrane and general body surface, that is moist skin, is the respiratory organ. While in case of insects which are terrestrial in habitat, the tracheal tubes and spiracles are the respiratory organ. Arachnids like spiders and scorpions are terrestrial in habit. Book lungs are the respiratory organ. Arthropods, that is limulus, are aquatic and book gills are the respiratory organ. Amphibian tadpoles of frog, salamanders and newts are aquatic in habitat. External gills are the respiratory organ. Fishes are aquatic in habitat and they respire through the internal gill. That is, gill slits are present for the respiration in case of fishes. Reptiles, birds and mammals are terrestrial in habit and respiratory organ is lungs. Turtles are underwater in habit and cloaca is the respiratory organ. When underwater turtles perform cloacal respiration, there are a pair of accessory air bladder connected to the cloaca which can absorb oxygen from the water. Let us see human respiratory system. Nostrils are external openings of nose. Oxygen-rich air is taken into the body through the nostrils. Carbon dioxide and water vapor are released out to the body through the nostrils. Here is the pharynx. Pharynx is the common passage for respiratory as well as digestive tract. Here is the larynx. Larynx is the organ of phonation. Trachea is a long vein pipe. Here the main bronchus and bronchioles are there and bronchioles are terminated to alveolus. Human respiratory system consists of following different parts. Nose has a pair of slit-like openings called external nares or nostrils for the entry of air into the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity is divisible into right and left nasal chamber by a mesethmoid cartilage. Each nasal chamber is further divided into three regions. First one, vestibule, then pharynx is a short vertical tube about 12 cm in length. It is common passage for respiratory and digestive tract. Tonsils are present in the pharynx. They are made up of lymphatic tissue. They kill the bacteria that are trapped in the mucus. Larynx. Larynx is the organ of phonation as it produces the sound. In males, it increases in size at puberty, so called Adam's apple. From the pharynx, air enters into the larynx. The opening through which it enters is called glottis. Glottis is guarded by a flap called epiglottis, which prevents the entry of food particles into trachea. This one is laryngeal prominence, that is Adam's apple, and here is the thyroid cartilage. This one is the long trachea, that is tracheal cartilage. Trachea or windpipe is about 10 to 12 centimeter long and 2 to 2.5 centimeter wide, supported by 16 to 20 C-shaped cartilage rings. Trachea is internally lined by ciliated epithelium tissues and mucous glands that remove the dust particles and push them upward to the larynx. Instant coughing can remove foreign particles that enters into the trachea. Lungs are the main respiratory organs of humans. One pair of spongy and elastic lungs are present in the thoracic cavity. Each lung is enclosed and protected by double pleural membrane, outer parietal and inner visceral membrane. Between the two pleura, there is a pleural cavity which is filled with a lubricating fluid called as pleural fluid. It is secreted by membranes. Right lung is larger and divided into 3 lobes, while the left lung is smaller and divided into 2 lobes. Each lobe of the lung has terminal bronchioles ending in a bunch of air sacs, each with 10 to 12 alveoli. Each bronchiole ends into a bunch of alveoli which appear like a bunch of grapes. Many alveoli makes the lung spongy and elastic. There are about 700 million alveoli are present in the lung and they provide the surface area for exchange of gases. Alveoli are covered by a network of capillaries from pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Diaphragm is a partition present at the base of thoracic cage. It is a muscular septum that separates the thoracic and abdominal cavity. Mechanism of respiration includes following processes. First one, breathing is a part of respiration. It is the process by which the air comes in and goes out to the lungs. Inspiration and expiration together makes breathing. External respiration, exchange of gases between the alveolar air and the blood take place through squamous epithelium tissues, layer of alveolus and capillary wall. Internal respiration, transport of oxygen is carried in dissolved state by plasma in the form of oxyhemoglobins from lungs to the tissue carried out in internal respiration. While in cellular respiration is the last step into which food is oxidized in the cell and ATP is produced and used to carry out vital processes. It involves inspiration and expiration. Breathing is a process by which the air comes in and goes out of the lungs. The rate of gaseous exchange is speeded up by breathing, so it is the part of respiration, and the term breathing and respiration are not synonyms. Inspiration and expiration together make breathing. Inspiration is an active process brought about by ribs, intercostal muscles, sternum and diaphragm. Diaphragm becomes flat and goes downward. External intercostal muscles contract, so the ribs and sternum moves upward and outward. Increase in thoracic volume and decrease in pressure of thorax and the lungs. To equalize the low pressure inside the lungs, air from the atmosphere rush into the lungs. pressure in the lung decreases and the volume increases due to expansion of the lungs. Due to pressure difference, the atmospheric air rushes into the lungs through respiratory passage, as a result of which air is inspired in. Atmospheric air is taken into the lungs, that is inspiration. Expiration is the passive process. During expiration, intercostal muscles relax and the ribs are pulled upward. The diaphragm is relaxed and becomes dome-shaped. The volume of thoracic cavity is reduced. The pressure on the lungs are increased, as a result of which they get compressed. Air is thus expelled out of lungs through the nasal chamber. In this video, we learn about human respiratory system and respiratory organs with mechanism of breathing. Thank you.